Congratulations, you found us. I'm going to talk to you about fat loss for men. Let me start with this quick little story. In the late 1980s, I drew the short straw and had to go listen to a salesman do some sales pitch about a product his company wanted to sell my military unit. I was part of a U.S. Navy diving unit that specialized in underwater bombs and demolition. This would happen every few months, and all of us guys hated it. Somebody was always trying to sell us something. I was to meet this salesman at a small theater on base. This picture is just something I found on the internet to give you a visual as I remember it. I arrived early, sat on the second row from the stage. I threw my feet over the back of the chairs in front of me, pulled my hat down on my nose to catch a few minutes of shut-eye. I wasn't really asleep. We called it a combat nap. Suddenly I heard the racking of a .45 caliber Colt handgun. I jerked my hat up and tried to lift my feet up and over the chairs I had them hanging over, but my feet had gone numb. A man standing on the stage turned the Colt towards his chest and fired at point-blank range. He fell backwards and the Colt bounced on the wooden floor. I started to move towards the weapon. That's the only thing in the room capable of killing me. But my feet weren't working. For the life of me, I could not connect the dots as to what was going on and why this guy just shot himself. I partly thought I was in a nightmare where nothing makes sense. Except for the ringing in my ears, the smell of gunpowder, the pounding in my chest, and the numbness in my legs that kept insisting it was really happening. Then he moved, then stood up. This was getting more bizarre by the second. He picked up and holstered the Colt and walked over to the edge of the stage where I was crouched down. He reached his right hand out like he wanted to shake mine. I hesitantly reached up and grasped his hand, still feeling a bit uncertain about shaking the hand of a man who should be dead. He introduced himself. "Hi, my name is Greg, and I'd like to talk to you about bulletproof vests." I learned two things that day. Number one, he believes in his product. Number two, not all sales guys are bad. What he sold me did save my butt and a lot of my team. By the end of this video, I hope you learn the same two things about me. My intention here is to help you. I know that most guys are tough and often feel they don't need any help losing unwanted fat. But just like the story, sometimes our arrogance or disdain for someone selling something can block us from getting the help we obviously need. Look down at your belly. Is there extra fat there? If so, I can help. I respectfully request your full attention. Your text, Skype, and email will still be there when I'm done. I spent 2 years preparing what I'm sharing with you. Let me start with a quick question to you. What is it that you truly want your body to look like? This is not a rhetorical question. A man is as alive as he can picture a better future. He is as dead as he can't picture a better future. Make sense? How much fat do you need to lose? Would you be fine wearing a size 44? Do you want to wear a size 32? Is it a flat stomach you want? Or are you after six-pack abs? Perhaps this isn't the first time you've tried to lose weight. How long have you struggled with your weight? How many times per week or day do you think about it? It's okay to admit it. Why hasn't it happened for you? Perhaps it has happened for you in the past. Why couldn't you stick to it? Why didn't the results last? Perhaps you've bought books or programs before that didn't live up to what you thought they would. Or those things you did in the past stopped working. I'm not invalidating you or trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I am more compassionate for you and your situation than you can imagine. I'm genuinely here to help you. During this video, I'll show you how to get your body to start burning fat without exercising or starving, and how I shocked and awed the weight loss industry with 3 stunning discoveries. Discovery number 1, every food, not calorie, triggers your body to either store fat or use stored fat, which is burning fat. Discovery number 2, craving food is every man's nemesis and will destroy your efforts to lose belly fat if not corrected. Discovery number 3, exercising to burn anything other than the last 10 pounds is a big fat lie and dangerous to your health. My name is Tim, this is my wife Laura and my youngest son Tristan. We live on a river farm in the mountains of Utah. We moved here for the peaceful life and the clean drinking water. As you can see, Tristan loves Spider-Man and I love my family and my country. Just 3 years ago, I fell into a trap and added too much fat and had a heck of a time finding a permanent solution. When I finally got it mapped out and implemented, I dumped fat very fast. I'm a busy executive and didn't ever see myself sharing it with others. One of my close friends saw me go from chubby to lean, asked me what I did. I told him. I then started getting text messages while he was at the grocery store or restaurant. Can I eat so-and-so? He too dropped a bunch of weight fast. I then got text messages from his friend asking for my help. Pretty soon, I had a small tribe of guys I was walking through how to lose fat and had little time for anything else. The problem with me is when I know I can help, especially when losing fat seems nearly impossible and a constant struggle for so many men. I have to help. Are you like that? You see someone struggling at something that you know how to do, and you feel obliged to help them because it's the right thing to do? I finally decided to write this up and help my fellow man, partly so that I would stop getting text messages and phone calls night and day, but the real reason is to help men. Let me share with you where this started. My wife said, "Babe, if they don't button, they don't fit. Let's try a 36. Boom, 9mm point blank range shot right in the forehead. That's what my wife said to me in the tiny dressing room of this Lucky Brand jean store in Salt Lake City. You see, I had already increased my pant size from a 31 to a 34. She wasn't trying to shoot me in the head, but she did. Can I get a nod that the woman you love the most can say some simple thing and it feels like she shot you in the head? My wife left the dressing room and I broke. If you knew what I did in the military, you'd know how ridiculous it was that I broke about anything. My wife's comment made me realize that my fat was a runaway train and I couldn't stop it. Before, I would just exercise my way back. Now, I couldn't get the same results that I used to get. And, speaking honestly, I wouldn't stay on any program for more than a week or two, diet or exercise. I would say I was going to eat better, then wouldn't. I wondered if this was just a part of aging. You ever wonder that? Regardless, I was on a bullet train traveling at 300 miles an hour heading straight down a very slippery slope. In less than a year, I had gone from a size 31-inch waist to a 36. That's 5 inches. You may have less or more weight to lose. The number doesn't matter. Keep watching and I'll tell you why. I ballooned up to over 212 pounds. I didn't need to be good in math to know the answer to what would year 2 yield, 41-inch waist. What would year 3 yield, 46-inch waist. In the short few minutes my wife was looking for larger pants, I realized I had become a, don't say it, a mama's boy. There's nothing worse in the military special forces than being labeled a mama's boy. Let me say that correctly, as the guys said it in the military. Big mamish boy, come here, son. Don't let those big bullies pick on you. Let mama make you a triple-decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Do you want grape jelly or do you want some Schmucker's strawberry jam? What made me break was thinking, what woman wants to be with a mama's boy? The boy's mama, not my wife. I'm not talking as much about my fat as I am my mental frame of mind. For me, being fat is proof of mental weakness, mental procrastination, mental lack of confront. It's a weakness in the mind that would allow gluttony to go on and get worse and worse. I hadn't always been fat. Here's how I went from elite to mama's boy. Then I'll show you how I reverse engineered the process to go from fat to elite again. Back in the 1970s, I was in high school sports. 80s, as I mentioned, I was part of an elite underwater bomb unit in the U.S. Navy. 90s, I was building multiple businesses while also running marathons and triathlons. I then stepped on the proverbial banana peel and slid down a very slippery slope. Before I knew it, I was stuck in a venomous, poisonous cycle that looked like this. Craving bad food that caused not sleeping well, that caused drinking large amounts of caffeine, that caused more restless nights, which resulted in not exercising, promised to change, repeating the cycle tomorrow. What I've found from working with a lot of men now is that this venomous cycle is every man's nemesis. I'm not saying that every guy is tripped up by all 5 items. I'm saying that every guy I've worked with has at least one of these items that trips him up, especially number 1, craving bad foods. Each month, the venomous cycle added 1 to 3 pounds of fat around my belly and sides. I remember feeling like it wasn't that I couldn't lose weight. It was that for some reason I couldn't beat this venomous cycle. The venomous cycle hijacked my self-discipline. Self-discipline is simply doing what I say I'll do. First, my self-discipline broke down. Then I got fat. Then I withdrew a little. I was less outgoing. Essentially, I was trying to hide my fat. You know, I didn't tuck my shirt in. I wore vertical striped shirts to make me appear thinner. I wore darker clothes. I didn't want to go to the beach. I was withdrawing because I was trying to hide what I looked like. Have you ever felt like this? Feeling as though I couldn't control my weight, I started focusing on other things I thought I could control. Work. That gave me the grand excuse of, I've gained weight because I've been so busy. I didn't gain fat because I was busy. I have to eat something to gain weight. Have you ever avoided a big problem in your life by focusing on other things? Did the big problem ever go away by doing that? It didn't for me. It kept getting worse. Truth is, I lost my mojo. I was less powerful, it bugged me, and I thought about it a lot. And this is where all my avoiding, excuses, procrastinations came to a spear tip, and I had to confront the beast. My wife didn't say anything with the intent to hurt me. What hurt was I realized she knew. My wife is my best friend, and I know she would look past me wearing a size 36. I didn't want her to look past me. I want her to look at me. I also want her proud of me. That's what I realized in that tiny dressing room with a big mirror. The veil had come off. No matter how nice my wife was about it, deep down I knew she saw me being a weak man. How could I be her hero if I was being a weak man? I decided right then I was not going to Station 36 en route to Fatville, USA, meaning I refused to go up to pant size 36. When my wife knocked on the door with a size 36 jeans in her hand, I opened the door fully dressed, ready to leave. She was looking into the determined eyes of her new husband. Even though I was determined, at the time I had no clue how. From wherever you are, you must make the same decision that I did. Your pant size or how much you have to lose doesn't matter as much as the decision to not go up to a larger pant size. That experience humbled me. It also caused me to realize that if it could happen to me, every man is vulnerable to the trap. That's why earlier I said I have more compassion for you and your condition than you could possibly imagine. You and I are here on the same terms. Here's what I did. For a full year, I bought everything. I bought the expert stuff, from cheap $40 products to expensive personal trainers. I spent thousands of dollars. All of it seemed to be the same stuff, just packaged differently. Some of it seemed to work, but not for very long. Because of my business history, I knew many healthcare specialists, doctors, chiropractors, homeopathic, naturopathic, personal trainers, elite athletes. I talked to them. From them, I learned a couple of new things they were doing with their patients and clients. One specialist pointed me to a small study that fascinated me. I dug really deep into this because there was an observation by the researcher that gave me a piece to the puzzle that was as scary as it was exciting. It was a piece of information that if it was true, then a lot of other things had to be untrue. I tried it. I lost 6 pounds in a week. No exercise. Even though I did nothing the entire weight loss industry said to do. With all my study and all the programs I tried, I got this suspicious thought. The truth about how to lose weight had either been withheld or yet discovered. I need to catch you up to why this thought came to mind. First off, 70% of Americans are overweight and a third of those obese. If anyone truly had weight loss figured out, we wouldn't have so many men struggling with losing fat. Even the healthcare professionals and personal trainers I spoke with blamed their client or patient to be non-compliant as the reason their program didn't work for everyone. And some of the healthcare professionals teaching fat loss were themselves fat. The truth was staring me in the face the whole time. Nobody had weight loss figured out. Something was definitely withheld or yet discovered. When I was doing my research, search engines on the internet turned up 39 million results on weight loss, fat loss. 39 million pages of weight loss advice, yet 70% of the population is overweight? Something's wrong. I read free content on websites. I bought ebooks and products sold off websites, magazines, books, and special programs from the so-called gurus of fitness. What did I learn? Here, for free, I'll give you what I learned. All programs teach the same stuff. Here it is. Number 1, exercise 3 to 5 days a week, split between weight training and cardio. Number 2, calories. Burn more than you consume. Ideally, eat 500 calories less than what you burn each day. That way you'll lose 1 to 2 pounds per week safely. Now that I know the truth, this is one of the biggest lies I've ever seen or heard. Hang on, I'll explain that. The next thing all the books and websites do is crank up or down on the percentages of protein, carbs, and fats in the ranges you see there. As if the end user, you and I, ever do that or keep doing that. When was the last time you sliced a half inch off your steak so you ate 20% of your calories from protein instead of 25%? Yeah, me either. After these programs crank these percentages up or down, they spin their program as different, typically by emphasizing that everyone is unique. implying that they know your uniqueness. There you go. That's what I learned from a year of research and thousands of dollars. Same old stuff for the past 40 years. Just marketed under different imagery, name, and focus. With the products I purchased, the deliverables, what you actually receive, were horrible. Very difficult to follow. $50 for a 200-page text PDF that was actually created in India. $137 for 3 videos of a guy doing exercises in his living room with a lamp on the floor. All programs stated emphatically, calories and exercise are the holy grail of weight loss. Are they? Let me explain it, then you can decide. It is the belief of most people in the diet industry as a whole that each person has a base calorie level that sits on a pivot point. The base calories is an estimation of the number of calories your metabolism burns in a day. The estimation is based on age, gender, height, and weight. I plugged my numbers in and it came out to be about 2,000. All right, so the theory is, if I consume exactly 2,000 calories each day, I will not gain weight or lose weight. I will stay the same, balanced on the pivot. If I eat over 2,000 base calories, then I gain weight. If I eat less than 2,000 calories, then I lose weight. I can accomplish this another way. If I eat 2,000 calories and add exercise, then I would burn more calories and thus lose weight. There you go. That's the calories in, calories out formula. All the big guys say that's the answer. On the Centers for Disease Control, Harvard Health Publication, and National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute all say consume less calories or exercise more and you'll lose weight. Allow me to introduce my friend Kevin. He's a former Marine. He and I used to do triathlons together back in the day. Kevin is a personal trainer in a gym in Maryland. To be a personal trainer, he was taught that to lose weight, you have to consume less calories than you burn. Despite all his exercising, he weighed about 280 pounds when I talked to him. I told him to stop exercising and eat a menu plan I was going to send him. He obviously thought I'd lost my mind. Get ready, you're about to witness the biggest lie in weight loss. If you look inside the red square, we're starting off at a base of 2,000 calories, meaning if Kevin eats his base calories of 2,000, he won't lose weight or gain weight. So, if he wanted to lose a pound a week without exercise, he would reduce his calories by 500 calories per day. That means he would eat 1,500 calories each day, and that would cause him to lose 1 pound of fat in a week. Losing 1 pound of fat in a week is considered safe weight loss. I'll explain why in just a minute. To lose 2 pounds in a week, Kevin would need to drop his calories down to 1,000 calories per day. That too is considered safe. To lose 3 pounds in a week, Kevin would need to drop his calories down to only 500 calories per day, and that is unsafe. The U.S. government warns it is unsafe to lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week because it is unsafe to eat less than 1,000 calories in a day. There you go. If you've heard the phrase, it's unhealthy to lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week, you are looking at why that statement is made. Most people who say the phrase have no idea what the phrase is based on. To correct the statement, it is safe to lose more than 1 to 2 pounds. It's unsafe to drop calories below 1,000 per day. Are you tracking with me? Let me keep going because you are about to be shocked. For Kevin to lose 3 pounds in a week, he'd have to eat only 500 calories per day for a week. For him to lose 4 pounds in a week, he'd have to eat nothing all week. For him to lose 5 pounds, how's Kevin going to eat less than nothing? Well, he'll have to exercise and burn an extra 500 calories each day for a week. I'm going to skip up to 10 pounds. Kevin would have to eat nothing all week and run 2.6 hours at a 10-minute pace each day for a week. Let Kevin tell you what happened.
Tim's been a buddy of mine for about 25 years. I reached out to him and he said, man, I can help you. So I just listened to everything that he had to say, got on the program. I lost 13 pounds in the first week, and lost a total of 71 pounds over the whole cycle. And everything that I had tried in the past, and I guess the way I lived my life, because I'm an Ironman triathlete, I'm an ultra marathoner, so I go out and run 50 miles in a day. Those are the things that I was doing, and that belief of the calories in, calories out philosophy that I lived pretty much my whole life. They worked for a certain period of time, at least I thought they did. But ultimately, as I found that as I aged, I'm 52 now, that philosophy just didn't work. And I realize now ultimately that it really didn't work in the past. because I've never been nutritionally fit in my life as to where I am now. The first thing he told me was to stop exercising. And I had some races coming up, actually one big race in particular, and he said, buddy, you gotta cut back on the exercise or to stop exercising. I said, well, man, I'm a personal trainer, like that's what I do. And he said, well, you need to cut out basically all the extracurricular things that you're doing. So took his advice and didn't really understand it at first, but through this whole education process with 3X, that was really the definitive point that I finally understood, why I needed to stop.
Did you hear Kevin say he lost 13 pounds in a week? Isn't it shocking and very revealing that he could lose 13 pounds in a week while eating over 1,000 calories per day and not exercising? Another crazy thing is that he couldn't lose that weight running 50 miles in a day. Reducing calories and increasing exercise is not the holy grail of weight loss. Kevin lost 61 pounds in 3.5 months, 6 inches off his waist, 2 inches off his neck. He lost an average of 1.7 pounds per day. That is almost 12 pounds per month. Calories in versus calories out is not the only way to lose weight. I have proven this utterly. I've also proven that exercise slows down fat loss with men who have excess fat to lose. Gentlemen, I did not perform miracles with my discoveries. The human body is what performed the miracles. The body is not nearly as complicated as people make it out to be. The truth is always simple. Before I show you our results and give you a way to get this, I need to make sure I'm never taken out of context. I'm not anti-exercise. I think exercise is great for a lot of reasons other than weight loss. I think exercise is dangerous for a man who has over 10 to 15 pounds to lose for a lot of reasons. That the body is storing excess fat is confirmation that the body is not well. And storage of excess body fat is an early indicator of disease. Which disease? Name one. Diabetes, heart disease, cancer, hypothyroidism. Since exercise is not required to lose weight, why risk harming your body more by speeding it up and stressing it? Tune the body internally first, then challenge it. I don't want my fellow man hurt unnecessarily. Now that I've shown you that calories and exercise are not the full answer, let me show you what is. Before I show you some of our results, I need to give you a legal disclaimer. I'm not making a promise or guaranteeing that you will lose weight. And talk to your doctor before changing your diet, including when you eat your in-laws' food, friends' barbecue, office snacks, convenience store food, grocery store food, airplane food, or at any restaurant. All right, as I stated before, I tried something new but very logical, and I lost 6 pounds in my first week, no exercise. Then continued eating the same things, and in only 60 days, dumped 28 pounds, no exercise, and no starving myself. This was not supposed to happen according to all the experts. What happened to starving? What happened to exercising to burn calories? What happened to doing cardio and keeping my heart rate between certain zones? What happened to all the things I was supposed to be doing? This absolutely blew my mind. Besides losing the weight without exercise, the crazy thing was I wasn't hungry. I wasn't craving foods. I was in total control. Would you like to feel that? Would you like to lose weight and at the same time not feel hungry? How about to feel in total control, the master of food? Wouldn't it be a nice change? Vicious cycle destroyed. Kaboom! In fact, I was so not hungry, I had to set an alarm on my watch to remind myself to eat. Now, this didn't just happen for me. I helped another friend of mine, Steve. He was a captain in the Army back in the day. He lost 29 pounds. Isn't that awesome? Steve's results were almost exact to mine. I don't know if you can see it, but around his neck, his skin tone changed dramatically. These unexpected results show up often in addition to the weight loss. I helped many more friends. I then wanted to test it on a variety of men. I placed an ad on Facebook and could only accept the first 24 because I was personally walking them through the program on a webinar. 3X will work for any age group. I chose older men, 40 to 80 years old, to test because they would be the hardest group to get fat loss results. They're more set in their ways, more addicted to chemicals, more loaded up with drugs, and more likely to have diseases. I figured that if I could get fat loss results with old guys, 3X would work for anyone. So if you're a young buck, you might beat our numbers. I named this group of 24 older men Team 1. All of us owed these guys a bit of gratitude. They proved something that genuinely helps all men. Across the top there's the phrase, "It pays to be a winner." I told them they would have bragging rights based on the greatest transformation images. You'll see those in just a minute. None of these guys knew each other when we first started, but we're all great friends now. Keep something in mind when you look at the images of Team 1. The average weight loss of the largest weight loss program, our competitor, is 10.5 pounds per year. So any weight loss above 10.5 pounds in a year will beat the number 1 place position. Not that I'm a competitive guy or anything. Here's Mr. Steve Wilson. He lost 34 pounds and was voted the number 1 best transformation by the other guys on Team 1. Gentlemen, seriously, look at the difference in Mr. Wilson's belly fat. This is 60 days with no exercise. Imagine that's you dropping 34 pounds in only 60 days. How would you feel about that?
My name's Steve Wilson. I'm 49 years old. I'm a business owner. I got exposed to this because a friend of mine sent over an email, and I watched Tim explain a new beta program he had for a weight loss program that was coming out. And so I got really interested in it, signed up like everybody else, and then I got to talk to Tim. I have to tell you, I had a lot of concerns. First of all, I was very busy. So I didn't know if I had a lot of time. I couldn't spend 2-3 hours a day on something because of my business. And then the bigger issue was that I had tried to lose weight 3 times in the previous 18 months. I mean, really strict programs, and each time I failed. So I had, I would lose weight in the beginning, and then I'd flatten out, and then I'd regain all the weight. And so I'd kind of reached the conclusion that I had wrecked my metabolism to the point where it was absolutely broken, that I just wasn't ever going to lose this weight. Weight is a very emotional thing for me. I've been fighting this for about 20 years, and it affects both my personal and my business life. I mean, I was that guy that didn't want to be in the picture. I wanted to take the picture. I would avoid pictures. I'd avoid certain social settings where I thought my weight would be an issue. And then in my business, I'd walk into these meetings with Fortune 1000 type executives, and I just knew that it was hard to ask them to trust me with their business when I couldn't even control my own weight. And so it affected my confidence and my self-esteem. And looking back, I realized I was just shrinking away from life. And so I got started, and the results were astounding. Each week we do these calls, and these guys, all of them are losing weight week after week after week. It was amazing. I lost 34 pounds in the first 60 days. And then went on to lose a total of 47 pounds, and I've kept it off for over a year. And the education you get, I mean, it's just amazing. I am convinced that we ought to be teaching this in every elementary school, middle school, high school, and making sure that people know this information to shortcut these problems and to really produce people that have, far better lives.
Isn't that great? Great results, Mr. Wilson. I salute you. Mr. Michael Ranger came in second place, 27 pounds in 60 days. The guys were joking with Mr. Ranger, asking if he had a boy or a girl. Isn't it insane how many inches Mr. Ranger lost off his belly in only 60 days? The naysayers, who've never done the program, will say to lose that much weight that fast, it had to be muscle that they lost. Yeah. Well, Mr. Ranger must have had a lot of belly muscles. Gosh, can you imagine the difference in confidence you would have watching your gut disappear like that? In 60 days, he got a flat stomach. Mr. Donnie Crisp won third place in our transformation. Let's hear from Mr. Crisp.
The last 4 or 5 years, I spent most of my time trying to exercise and work out, and tried some of the fad diets. Nothing seemed to work, and it seemed like I'd always gained back more weight than I lost. When I found 3X fat loss, and my goal was to go in at this and lose about 20 pounds. And I was about 222 pounds at the time. And I figured 200 would be a good weight for me. After 30 days on this program, I had almost met my goal. I was at 18 pounds lost. After 60 days, I'd lost 35 pounds. At that point, I just decided to keep going. After 120 days, I'd lost 55 pounds. And here I am, over a year later, I've not gained a single pound back. All the aches and pains in my body are gone. I can do things that I haven't done since I was in high school. Now I can run, just play basketball. I've got kids that I can stay active with, and it's just transformed my life unlike I never dreamed, because people would tell me, I'd talk about my aches and pains and they would say, oh, Donnie, it's just what happens when you get older. So I just started believing that, and I kind of felt helpless, But after 3X Fat Loss got me to where I am right now, it's just so exciting to be a part of something that actually works. The education that this program will give you is something that will keep you from ever having to go back to where you were before.
Are you kidding me? Look at that guy on the left. Now look at the guy in the middle. That's 60 days. And look at that guy on the right with just 60 more days. Down 55 pounds in 4 months. Look at that transformation, gentlemen. What would that do for your life? How cool would it be if you had that same experience? Donnie posted a new me picture on Facebook. Look at this. Every one of these people are asking Donnie to tell them his secret. This post from Kelly says it all. Congrats. Darn, it took me 3 months to take off 11 pounds, but I was burning 600 calories a day in workouts. What's your secret? Gentlemen, I hope you're starting to see how rare we are. 40 to 80-year-old men, not spring chickens. In 2 months, not 3 months like Kelly. Donnie dropped 35 pounds, not 11 pounds. Kelly had to exercise and burn 600 calories a day for 3 months. Donnie did it without exercise. We are so different. Let's watch Mr. Glenn McDougall up in Canada. Please get a good look at his chin in the picture on the left and compare it to this video.
So my name is Glenn McDougall. I'm from Calgary, Canada. I came across this program called 3X Fat Loss on the internet, in all fact, and I wasn't really sure what to do. I just kind of thought I'd check it out. I was overweight and depressed and not feeling very good about myself, and my whole business was just kind of, I work in construction. All I do is work, get home and I'm exhausted. I drank 6 doubles a day. That's, for you American folk, that's 6 coffees with 2 sugar and 2 cream a day, plus a Monster energy drink almost every second day. I just had no energy. I was exhausted all the time. I'd go home and, like I said, just be exhausted. My kids would want to play. I'd want to sleep on the couch. I didn't eat properly. I was construction, so it's always fast. You're always out, and you want to get back to the job straight away. So it's McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, Taco Time, all of those kind of things, Subway. Just eat fast. And I got to 228 pounds. And I had quite a big gut on me that was, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't want to look in the mirror anymore. I wasn't huge, but for me, that was what it took. And going through my process, and at the end of the first month, I had lost some weight, and I was like, wow, this stuff works. Then at the end of month 2, I hopped on the scale, and I was down 38 pounds in 2 months. I had to start wearing suspenders in my work pants. It was so exciting. And I was showing everybody and jumping around, and it was exciting. And people started to take notice and realize, it's like, well, what's going on with this guy? And once you get into that training, it's like you just can't get enough of it because it's life-changing. I look at myself now, and I continued to lose weight, and over a period of 6 months, I hit minus 65 pounds in 6 months. I went from a size 36 to a size 31. My marriage got better. My family enjoyed more time with me. I was able to get jobs done quicker. It's just remarkable what this program does. It changes you. It educates you. The education is priceless.
Incredible. Could you tell that it was emotional to Mr. McDougall when he looked back and realized how much he had changed? This can happen for you too. Mr. Tracy Hunter down 38 pounds in 60 days. Mr. Hunter needs a new ID card. No one would believe they are the same men. Mr. Glenn Bourne, retired pastor, 63 years old, dropped 29 pounds in 60 days. Are you seeing this consistent pattern? It's called results, life-changing results. Mr. Brian Anderson dropped 24 pounds in 60 days. His big desire was not only to lose weight, but to keep it off, something he hadn't been able to do in the past. Well, a year and a half later, he's kept it off. Mr. John Batista up in Connecticut dropped 22 pounds, 8% body fat, and 7% off his gut in 60 days. He then dropped an additional 8 pounds over the next year. This man lost his love handles. Who named them love handles anyway? I don't know any guy who loves them. Mr. Tony Williamson, he was 60 years old at the time. He only weighed 148 pounds when he started, but check out his stomach and neck. Watch this quick clip from Mr. Dale Lewis.
So my name is Dale Lewis. I'm 54 years old. Yeah, I know. I don't look 54 years old, but I am. And so let me tell you my story here when it comes to 3X. Let me tell you my 3X story. I was 219 pounds. I had just come back from a golf outing with a bunch of my buddies from the academy. Fast forward 8 short weeks, and I'm down to 176 pounds. So I lost 44 pounds in 8 short weeks. My waist, I was a 39.5-inch waist. I went down to a 32-inch waist. I fit into pants I hadn't seen in years. I actually had to go get them out of my garage, and put them on. So, it's absolutely amazing, phenomenal. And I got to tell you something else. I'm a guy, I am a P90X graduate. I'm actually a P90X graduate twice. I went through a 13-week program twice. And I did P90X2 one time. So that's over 40 weeks of intensive exercise, 7 days a week, hour to an hour and a half each exercise. And in that 40 weeks, I didn't come close to what I am today, okay, that I got in 8 short weeks with the 3X program. So I tell you, almost a year. Tony Horton, I love you to death, but you didn't do it for me. 3X did it for me, 8 short weeks.
Did you hear Mr. Lewis say he exercised 60 to 90 minutes a day, 7 days a week for 40 weeks of intense exercises, and that he didn't get as good results as 60 days not exercising? Is your jaw on the table? Remember, the number to beat was an average of 10.5 pounds in a year. Kaboom! Those 24 old guys lost on average 26.7 pounds in 60 days, not 360 days. No exercise. After I witnessed those stunning results, I had to make this available to help as many men as possible. That's why I created 3X Fat Loss for Men. 3X Fat Loss is the combination of implementation, which is how you break old bad habits and get the program into your life, and the Academy, which is the education so you never get fat again. All the implementation and Academy are delivered in a members area. You are the beneficiary of my 2 years of time and thousands of dollars of research. I'm talking meticulously and arduously, testing foods after foods, liquids after liquids, and their effect on fat burning versus fat storing and cravings. Then I tested how to carefully and precisely implement the program into a man's life. If you get any of those, foods, liquids, cravings, or implementation wrong, it doesn't work. It's like climbing a glass wall. Every advance causes regress. This is the way weight loss normally turns out. Up and down, lose weight, gain it back. After a year, people weigh more. When you do it right, you get rapid fat loss and you keep every advancement. Mr. John Lindsay of Team 1 lost 35 pounds in the first 60 days and continued the exact same program and has now lost 124 pounds in his first 12 months. This is both stunning and incredible. He went from pant size 55 to size 34. For you heavyweights, how would you like to totally transform who you are like Mr. Lindsay did? He, like all of us, simply made a decision to not go up in pant size and followed 3X exactly. Mr. Lindsay's fat loss continued falling every month. It didn't roller coaster up and down. Every advancement towards his goal weight he kept. Mr. Lindsay averaged 10.3 pounds per month for an entire year. No exercise. Because I've bought most of the popular weight loss programs, it's easy for me to know 3X doesn't have a competitor. 3X Fat Loss is a one-of-a-kind program because everyone else puts exercise and calories as the center of their target. It's the wrong target. They're all competing with each other to be the best at hitting the center of the wrong target. Now that 3X is dialed in and proven, it's simple to do and the results are fast, as you've seen for yourself. It won't take you 2 years and thousands of dollars of research like it did me. You'll just plug right in and do what I did and what the original Team 1 did, as well as all the men who have followed. This could dramatically shortcut your efforts to burn belly fat. Look at these men of Team 1. They collectively lost 640.8 pounds in only 60 days without exercise. Isn't that spectacular? We are not starving men or having them further harm their bodies through extreme exercise. We are optimizing their body. We are simply converting them from fat-storing men to fat-burning men. Watch this quick clip. I was just interviewing Dr. Strand, and we had kind of shut off the camera and took our mics off, and then he started telling me about my program. And I'm like, hang on a minute. No. We got to go back to, we got to lay this down. So what were you going to say about the program?
You know, people come into 3X primarily for weight loss. That's their incentive. I want to lose this weight. But see, as a physician, I look at that weight as killer fat. And it has...
Killer fat?
Yes. Because it is associated with high blood pressure, increased risk of diabetes, elevated cholesterol, high heart disease, stroke. And what people don't realize when they go through your program, all of that reverses. It goes down. You start to see improvement in your blood pressure. Your cholesterol goes down. Your triglycerides, your blood sugar goes down. Your good cholesterol goes up. And all of a sudden, these people see these health benefits. And as a physician, that's what really excites me. Weight loss is great and they get excited, but I'm more excited about the health benefits that underlie your program.
It's your turn now. I want to give you a chance to get your hands on 3X Fat Loss. Let me briefly explain what is in this picture. On the left, you get the implementation guide, which also contains videos that are the exact procedures to change your routine from fat storing to a routine that causes fat burning. On the right, you get the Academy lesson so that you become smart and can then make good food decisions on your own. That's the only way you never get fat again. If you've ever heard the quote, "Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime," that is the relationship between the implementation guide and the 3X Academy. Implementation is to solve the immediate need, burn fat. The Academy is so you're lean for the rest of your life. Again, these are delivered to you inside our members area. Let me show you how to get access. Midway through working with Team 1, I asked them to put a price value on 3X Fat Loss. All surveys came back at over $1,000. I'm not inflating this. You watch the videos of the men's passion about what they got from 3X. The price is not $1,000. If it were, would you pay $1,000 to be proud of your body again? Would that be worth $1,000? If you could go any place like the beach or a swimming pool without feeling self-conscious, would that be worth $1,000? For me, as you heard, when I made the decision to never go up in pant size again, I was willing to spend whatever it took. So $1,000 would have been an instant yes, give me access. I urge you to not let finance come between anything that is constantly bugging you. Just get 3X and knock this problem off your list. Here are the typical procedures people use to try to get lean. Gym membership will cost you about $55 a month. Personal trainers, the average runs around $60 to $70 per session. Nutritional counseling is about $125. Gimmick programs, $40 to $300 each. There's also a cost for not solving the problem. Depending on your health, this could be very expensive. Let me explain what you're going to get, and then I'll tell you the price. You get the implementation guide and videos valued at $300. Let me explain what implementation is. The implementation section of 3X contains both video lessons and printable guide. The subject you will learn is what to do so that you get immediate results, so you don't have to figure out what to eat, what not to eat, what to buy at the store, how to cook it, what tools I use to prepare food, how to order at a restaurant, what a perfect day looks like. Can you see how simple this is? In the Bomb Squad, we lived or died based on how simple and understandable the instructions were written. So you're going to get the implementation guide and videos valued at $300. You're also going to get the Academy lessons. Let me show you this. In the Academy, each lesson covers one standalone weight loss component. Internally, my wife and I named these the 7 vital components because we found that each component was effective on a percentage of guys that wanted to lose weight. Let me give you an example. Let's say a guy is trying to lose weight, but each time he gets down a few pounds, he bounces back up or hits a plateau. The rebound or plateau might be because his body is overloaded with toxins. This can cause fat loss to be slowed down or frequent plateau points. In Academy Lesson number 1, at the top right in the image, you will learn about toxins, how to identify them on food labels, what they do in your body, and how to dispose of them. My point in explaining this is that each Academy lesson covers a different fat loss component. Get this, when all 7 components are incorporated, which is what is in the implementation guide, we have succeeded across the board. This may explain to you why some people can get results doing X. Another person can't get results with X, but can get results with Y. We found it not to be just X and Y. We found 7 different components that influenced weight loss. All 7 are incorporated in implementation. Legally and ethically, I'm not saying we will always get success. I'm saying that with all 7 components, we were fortunate to have all 24 men of Team 1 lose weight. Some less, some more. The average was 26.7 pounds. That is astonishing, don't you think? So not only are you going to get the implementation guide and the videos valued at $300, you're also going to get the Academy Lesson number 1 valued at $79. You get Academy Lesson 2 valued at $79. Academy Lesson 3 at $79. I'm sure you're thinking, just combine them, Tim. That's the point that you need to understand. The Academy is like 7 unique weight loss education products. 4 of those lessons took 9 months to dial in perfectly. My wife spent 3 months of straight out research to get to the bottom of gut health, which is one of the lessons. I paid $500 for one medical webinar on a single topic in my wife's gut health lesson. If your gut health isn't right, you're not absorbing nutrients. Nutrients are what your body runs on. If the body isn't getting nutrients, even though you're eating, it thinks it's starving, therefore continues storing more fat and can be stubborn to release fat. That's why you need to know how to keep your gut in good health so your body can efficiently burn fat. The discussion of how to keep your gut healthy is one of the lessons in the Academy with a value of $79. If I knocked off $200 and you paid just $653, it would be a bargain for what you get. However, I know you're going to need high-quality foods and supplements to get the results Team 1 got. So you'll get the implementation guide and videos valued at $300. You'll also get all the Academy lessons with a total value of $853. Let me add one more thing. If you get this now, I'll throw in my How to Gain Self-Discipline lesson as a bonus. That by itself is priceless. If a guy doesn't do what he tells himself to do, he lied to himself. That causes him to lose confidence in himself. That stinks. No man should view himself as weak, nor should he pretend that he is strong when his actions prove he's not. Your actions and view of yourself are always in alignment. Get 3X today. You'll also get How to Gain Self-Discipline, where I'll help you to do what you say you will do, so that you become proud of you again. The 3X Implementation Guide, along with self-discipline training, are the bad habit busters. I'm not any different than you. I had horrible habits. No person on earth has eaten more or loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, sodas, pecan pie, key lime pie more than I do. I broke the habit of telling myself to do something and then not do it. Now, I've lost a total of 42 pounds and over the past 3 years have become as lean, hard, and strong as I was in the military despite me being 53 years old. I want that for you. I want your wife or girlfriend to be over the top impressed with you both physically and mentally. I want you to be all you used to be and more. So, you're going to get the implementation tools valued at $300, Academy lessons 1 through 7 valued at $79 each, and if you get 3X now, you're also going to get my bonus lesson, How to Gain Self-Discipline, valued at $57. The total value is $910. Your investment today is a one-time payment of only $97. Click the button below and get your hands on this now. I would grab it right now because we're also considering a monthly subscription price instead of a one-time payment. Even if you're traveling and are not ready to start losing weight now, grab this offer now. It's just a one-time payment of $97. When this offer is gone, it's gone. Even at that low price, some of you may feel nervous. What if it's not what I think it is? So I'm going to give you an ironclad guarantee. You test this out. If it's not all that you thought it was, just cancel it in 15 days and you get your money back. Simple as that. If I can't help you lose weight, I don't deserve your money. Isn't that the way it should be? Although I can give you a money-back guarantee, I can't give you a guarantee this offer is going to still be available tomorrow if you come back. When it's gone, it's gone. This is a limited offer. In closing, The only difference between you and these men is these men made the decision and moved forward. It's your turn now. What is your life going to look like when you've lost the weight? Proud to take off your shirt, free to tuck your shirt in, waking up happy and exploding with energy. This isn't fluff. You're looking at 24 men who made the same decision you're making and transformed their body in only 60 days. If the men of Team 1 did it, if I did it, you can too. Join this elite team. It is a fun and great group to be a part of. Surround yourself with guys who better you. That makes you better. Click the button below and start melting your fat, gentlemen. If you don't get this now, you will regret it. Let us help you. We're waiting for you. We consider it a tremendous honor to serve you. Click the button, get 3X, and I'll see you inside the members area. By the way, I do believe in my product, and I am trying to save your butt.
Autobot.